back to episode 6 of Arsenal A New Era on the FM19 beta. And we're only about a week or sort of 5 days away now, 6 days away from well, as you're watching this, probably even less, probably 2 or 3, as I'm recording this on the Saturday night, from the full release, I think on the 2nd, so what's that, the Friday, I think? So yeah, closing in. Last time we had Everton in the league, which was a good win. Unfortunately, we did follow that with a loss against Chelsea, which sort of pushed us a little bit back down in the chase for, well, the top 2 positions, and also sort of let them gather a bit of ground on us, and a few other teams gather a bit of ground on us in the league, and it did kind of halt our progress a little bit. Today we've got Man United and Liverpool both at the Emirates, so a chance to really bounce back. We've had a lot of games since those last 2, so we'll talk about those shortly. But before we jump into that, hopefully you haven't spotted some of the results in the top right hand corner as I click away. Don't scroll back and have a look. So there's a few sort of things I want to just sort of highlight. So we've had a bit of a thing. So I brought a few players up from the youth team. We had a bit of an issue at left back at one point, so I brought this bowler up, Talaji Bowler, and he has just done me absolutely amazing so far. He's got an 8 rating in Europa League, and he's got a 6.9 in the Premier League, but he's come up against some decent teams. He hasn't got the best potential or best current even. He's got good physicals, quite good physicals. Mentals, not great. Technicals, not so great. Tackling's okay, I suppose, for a fullback. Nigerian left back. Has he been at us for a good few years now? I don't actually know him that well. I must have had him on last year's game. I'm sure he was on there. If he's 19, he must have been there. But he's come up and he's played well. And what I liked about him is he did just bomb on. I've seen it, Kolasinac and Monreal to some extent get behind the midfielder and overlap. But this guy was flying forward, and I like that a lot. And he gave us a good few opportunities. Another thing to note is we had another couple of injuries, which we'll talk about in a minute. In fact, no, we'll talk about it now. The main one being Alex Iwobi, which is absolutely gutting. He's out for 2 to 3 months, and that's happened fairly recently. So we can be about him, and he's been absolutely pivotal to us this year. He's got 7 in 13 in the Premier League. Hasn't played too much in Europa League. Pardon me, I feel like I'm losing my voice again. Hopefully not. So he's done really well for us in the Premier League, playing that left midfield position just here. And yeah, I mean, we're gonna miss him. We've got a few players, things like Pereira, but he's injured an awful lot. For Rafinha, injured an awful lot, and behind that it's really kind of Danny Welbeck. We don't even have a youth player really we can bring up, so it's Danny Welbeck. He stepped in and done okay, but he's not really suited for it. The other thing is Mkhitaryan has kind of stepped in and obviously played a lot more games, and he has just been unreal. So Europa League, he's got 2 in 4 and a couple of sub appearances. He's started racking up some really good appearances in every game he's played for us. He's been getting assists left, right and centre. I mean, if we look at him on here now, I don't know if it will show it. He's only got 2 assists and 1 goal, but he's just been involved in so much that we've been doing and getting man of the matches. And yeah, he stepped up when we've needed him to. Granit Xhaka, I've just noticed, is wanted. Who's he by? PSG. That is a player I am considering if we go into a second season on the channel, but I mean, I'll probably play it on anyway. Looking at moving on, he's unhappy. He doesn't really get in the team, doesn't really fit what we're doing. I think we'll move him on. The other thing, I did have a comment recently on my first video, which was from Ryan Priddle. I hope I've pronounced your name right and spelt it right as I've written it down. He's playing Arsenal save as well, so he's sort of advised how he's doing, what sort of things he's done, and he advised me to have a look at Paquetá. So I'm going to take a look at him now. He did also suggest not losing Smith Rowe. Obviously, I've loaned him out and could do with him right about now, but he's unfortunately on loan. So this is the guy. He's Brazilian midfielder. I haven't looked at him before. I'm looking at him now. He does look pretty mustard, doesn't he? So we'll drop a scout report on him. We're going to drop him on the shortlist as well. I haven't created any shortlists or anything yet. I haven't put any of those together particularly. Not too fussed about it because obviously my next main save is going to be a lower league save, so it's going to be a completely different list. At some point maybe I'll go down and have a look. But get on to how we've got on since the last episode. So obviously we had Everton and Chelsea, which was here. We then followed up with a 3-1 win. I mean, you can feel free to scroll down and look at the scores, doesn't matter too much. 3-1 win against Atalanta. Their one to Kid Musa Barrow got a very late consolation, but Mustafi, Ramsey and Aubameyang did the business. We kept them quiet, but we just didn't maybe punish them as much as we should have. We absolutely dominated this game, 28 shots, and it was a terrible goal to concede as well. I've written down, I don't remember it too much, but you know, we got the win. That topped us the group, essentially. We knew we pretty much had it, but that sort of sorted it and made sure We then followed up with a good 3-1 win against Southampton in the league. We both had red cards in this game. We actually had Welbeck sent off very, very early on. We actually rotated in this game because we had the Man City game coming up next. Welbeck was sent off a handball after 4 minutes, but despite that, Aubameyang scored a hat-trick in this game. Really hit some form. We did concede a goal through Socrates, which brought it back to 2-1, but we saw it out, got the third goal. They had a man sent off, and that sort of... I mean, they had one shot on target, and that wasn't even their goal, so that sums up this game, really. What else was there to say? That's about it for this game. Yeah, Man City, we then lost 1-0 to Company. It was a bit of a belter from him. It was a bit of a corner, I think. It bounced around a bit, and he just levered it in from about 16 yards, I think. Just levered it, and it's not a goal you expect Company to see, but he did. But as you can see from stats, we did absolutely nothing in this game. We didn't deserve a win, but I think the loss was harsh. I mean, they didn't create that much really either, and a lot of those chances weren't even highlights. The one highlight really was the Company goal, and it came from a set piece. So yeah, not much to say about that really. We did bounce back though with a lovely 5-0 win against Bournemouth. They were flying quite high in the league at the stage, so it was a bit of a tricky one to contend with, but we did take the league through Rob Holding on the 3rd minute. Iwobi wasn't injured at this point, so he did get one on the 5th minute to make us 2-0. And then we had a bit of a flurry as well, so Aubameyang got another one. He actually got a brace, but he got one on the 19th minute and then just after the hour. And then Aaron Ramsey in between on the 26th minute. They were not in this game. We were at probably one of our best performances of the season, I'd say, and thoroughly deserved this, and we were back to know what we can do. Bit of a dead rubber in the end then against Steaua Bucharest. I think the next 2 games pretty much were, so we've done a 4 rotation on this just to try and rest as much as we can. We've seen a lot of players now start to be jaded, need of a rest, needing to come off in games, and then after the games needing a rest and actually being happy to take a rest. So taking every opportunity I can. Nketiah actually scored it showed on the screen as 9 seconds. It said in the report 15 seconds. But either way, fantastic. He got another one on the 70th minute as well. So his first professional goals for Arsenal. I think if you take out the League Cup. Did he score the League Cup last season in real life? I think he did, yeah. Yeah, that was his moment, wasn't it? Of course it was. That guy, Danny Welbeck, got one on the 30th minute before Xhaka. He had probably one of the good things, few good things he's done for this club. And 90th minute just sort of levered one in from the edge of the box. He did get 2 assists. Was it Mkhitaryan in this game? No, it wasn't Mkhitaryan in this game. Yeah, he got 2 assists in this game, 3 key passes. So I think he was the man of the match as well. No, sorry, Danny Welbeck was that guy. Danny Welbeck playing midfield left and getting man of the match and doing a good job, but it was Steaua Bucharest. We then travelled away to Leicester for what was again quite a tough game. They were in it, but maybe not as much as the stats suggest. Aubameyang on the 16th minute, and before we tied it up on a penalty just on the hour through El Neni. When he takes penalties, he seems to score them, so I'm quite happy with that. Wasn't aware he was a particularly good penalty taker, but he did actually score in this build-up, but it was disallowed and the penalty given. So I'd rather have the goal, obviously. I think it was actually El Neni who scored the goal, but he was fouled in the process, readjusted himself, got up, took the penalty. It gave us the 2-0 lead, 2-0 win in the end. So again, have a good result against a good stubborn team. Between this game and the last game, which was Leicester, we did actually draw Ludogorets in the knockout round for the first knockout round for the Europa League. I didn't think to record that. I didn't think there was much point. There was a lot of teams in it. It would have taken a bit of a time, and at the time I was recording it. I was actually playing it. I think I was actually playing it at work, so I wouldn't be able to record anyway. I had a couple of people to either side of me, but luckily they couldn't see me playing. It seems to be a good little system I've got at the moment, is recording and playing the gaps at work, and then just editing and playing the gaps at work, and then just recording the actual episodes at home. It seems to work pretty well so far, and the bosses are away for about 2 weeks, so going to get a bit more of that in hopefully. But yeah, back to Chelsea in the League Cup. Obviously after our disappointing league game, which was obviously the last episode, we came out and absolutely blitzed them in this game. They weren't in this game at all, and the nil is fair. They didn't create anything, they didn't trouble us at all, and largely the same team out there. The defence is maybe a little bit more rotated. The bench was certainly more rotated, but Mkhitaryan getting a hat-trick in this game, he was absolutely phenomenal. 9.6 man of the match. He absolutely tore Chelsea to bits. Every time he got the ball, he caused them problems. And this was, I mean, I'd rather have taken a loss here and got the 3 points in the league. But, we got it is what it is. We've got a semi-final, I think, now to look forward to. And that is actually against Bournemouth. So obviously we just recently beat them, so not too bad. So the penultimate game before the episode commences was a 2-1 win against Wolves. Again, a really tough game, this one. They were in it, but maybe not. We should have been further away than we actually were. We took the lead again from Mkhitaryan, absolutely fantastic. Before Jimenez equalised, I was actually playing at work and I had to quickly minimise my screen, and when I came back it was 1-1. I was absolutely gutted. But we did a tactical switch. If you look on there, we changed things up. We played 3 through the middle. No, I think we played... Okay, it's not showing that on this screen. I can't remember exactly what I did, but completely switched everything up. I think we went 2 up front. I'm pretty sure we did. Welbeck and Lacazette. Aubameyang, I think, was injured at this stage. And then, we got that guy, Danny Welbeck, on the 90th minute, essentially, getting us the winner. Absolutely fantastic. So we mentioned Iwobi at this stage. I think it was at this stage, was injured for 2 to 3 months in training. But he also got a new contract at the same... we got a new contract at the same time. Sorry, we were offered a new contract. We snapped that up. 140 grand a week, not too shabby. If I could get that at work, I'd be absolutely delighted. And then the final game, really not the best game to be going into the Man United Liverpool double. 3-1 loss to Huddersfield. And if you look, they scored in the 4th and 11th minute. We were absolutely blitzed in the opening moments. I'm pretty sure they were both corners. We had to rotate in this game. So we played Maitland-Niles at right back. We had the 2 Greek guys at centre half. Bowler at left back. Wasn't one of his finest in the afternoons. A lot of the stuff comes down his side, unfortunately. But Pereira played. Xhaka, Welbeck, Xhaka. I mentioned him, Torreira. Ozil did play. He got his goal. And Lacazette. So we had a few out there, but yeah, wasn't the best performance from us. We were behind very early, 2 behind very quickly. They're both corners, which we seem to be seeing a few more corners in this game than FM18. And we were 3-0 down at half time. We got one back from Ozil, very late on, 90th minute injury time. Basically, it was too late, too late, and a really disappointing loss against a team that were essentially struggling in the league. But that does bring us to today's game. So like I say, we've got Man United and Liverpool to come, both at home. Man United is on TV. So if you look at the table, where that leaves us, as you can see through the top, we are 3rd. Not much has changed in that regard, but points-wise, we're 11 points behind Manchester City. We're 10 points behind Man United. And Liverpool are breathing right down our necks. So we need to get 6 points out of 6 today, really, ideally. Maybe 3. I mean, if we think that maybe 2nd and 1st has gone, we need to beat Liverpool and keep them behind. But obviously they're going to have a chance to close the gap. They've got Wolves today, so you'd expect them to be beating Wolves, who have slipped into the bottom positions. Everton have clawed their way up. Huddersfield, obviously, after beating us, have clawed their way up a few places as well. Nothing more to note particularly. The bottom 3 are the 3 that come up. If that's going to happen in real life, I don't think so. I think Wolves will get out. Fulham are looking in like a little bit of trouble after this weekend's results. Again, Cardiff fought well against Liverpool, but in the end lost quite easily, comprehensively. So we'll jump into the game. We have got the team lineup ready, so we'll jump to the lineups now. So here are the lineups. I did have to make one slight tweak. I had Lacazette up front. I've decided to change him for Aubameyang because Lacazette's form has just been a little bit woeful. A lot of it has been off the bench, but I thought, we'll put the man back in. He's been out for a few games. He's missed the last 3, but we'll bring him back in today. For them, I mean, the rest of the team pretty much picks itself. The back 4 is the back 4. Pereira's obviously shifted to left back in the absence of Iwobi, and Mkhitaryan, the star man at the moment, is taking his position in right midfield. Everything else is the same. Lukaku leads the line. They've got Sanchez and Mata on the wings either side. Matic, Herrera and Camacho, a new signing in Camacho, looking like a good midfield 3 there. And they've got Diamond at left back, which is strange because he's a right back. Lindelof, Bailey, and Valencia, and then De Gea on in goal. They've got Romero, Jones, Martial, Rashford, Young, Smalling and Pereira on the bench. Let's see, so we're expected to prove a point. I'd say that's pretty correct. We need to start getting some points against the teams above us and around us. We're not going to send the assistant to the team talk tunnel. And I've done the kits now finally. I think I've got the Arsenal kit finally working. I had most of the kits up and running, but the Arsenal one wasn't. So it's a free kick here. David De Gea to take. Rob Holding wins it nicely, and Ozil finds Aubameyang. Spreads it left to Pereira. Finds Kolasinac. Can he find a good ball? Not really. It does drop out to Pereira. Not good defending, and Ozil's in the box. Finally, we take a lead against a big team, and we're in there. Mata has picked up an injury. I don't think he's gone off yet. And I think that is down his side where we've sort of exposed a little bit. So that could be something to play on. Lindelof, not the best clearance by any stretch of the imagination. And Ozil in the box, in the right place, buries it. And my computer is making a lot of noise again tonight, like it did in the last episode. But hopefully, I'm far away enough that it won't be too much of an issue tonight. I am downstairs again. It's after X Factor and all that rubbish stuff's finished, so I'm watching Match of the Day. We try and dispossess Camacho, but we're not quite able to. Matic finds it as well. They're knocking it around our box quite nicely. And Lukaku is basically insta responded. And at home, I thought we might be able to have a bit more of an impact here. We're not going to watch that. And at half time, yeah, it's 1-1. I mentioned I'm watching that. I'm downstairs. I'm watching Match of the Day. Obviously, I just saw the gutting scenes of what's happened at Leicester. So hopefully, I haven't heard too much. They don't know who's on the helicopter or anything like that yet. But hopefully, it's not as bad as it's. Obviously, it's terrible. But hopefully, there's some good news comes out of it. I don't know if anyone's injured, died, or it's horrific. But yeah, thoughts go to everyone involved, and obviously everyone at Leicester and anyone who supports Leicester and that sort of stuff. But back to the matter in hand, we've got a team talk here to take part, and obviously they've just scored from, I think they scored from a corner that Mata took while injured. Aubameyang's not having the best day, so we might have to think about, that's a terrible pass out to Mkhitaryan, we might have to think about bringing Lacazette on. Do we go 2 up top maybe, or, I mean, Ozil's playing okay, so maybe not, and Aubameyang's there. And he goes close. He should be scoring that. Oh, Man United starting to put on the pressure a little bit here now. Funny there, throwing goes straight to their man. And Martial runs in acres of space and forces a good save from Leno. But it's still here with the corner. And Leno gathers the corner, fortunately. Obviously, I've said we've had a few corners conceded and we're seeing more in this game than before, so I'm wary every time we see one. And Rafinha has now picked up a knock, because of course he has. That's obviously put us down to 10 men for the last 7 minutes, which is fantastic when we're already under the cosh. Goal kick by Leno should be the end of the game. It is 1-1 draw. Not amazing, but it's progress. It's a better result against a team above us. So we regroup, we take that, I guess. It's better than a loss, of course. I mean, the assistant manager seems happy with that, so yeah, we'll take that. So Rafinha, he's going to be injured for 5 to 6 weeks. He's just a walking injury. I mean, it was warned about it when I signed him, but I didn't think it was going to be this bad. Obviously, with the increase in here we go. That's what I mentioned at the start of the game about injuries and fitness, and when any Calasanach's struggling could do with a rest. So it's a tough schedule around Christmas. Obviously, we're at New Year's the day before, well, a couple of days before New Year's Eve. I think we play on New Year's Eve. I'll just double check that. I think it's the 31st. No, it's the first New Year's Day. Of course it is. That's the New Year's Day calendar. So we've got 3 days. So we'll drop a rest on them and hopefully they can get through Liverpool. And then we can regroup for the FA Cup against Stoke with a bit of a weakened team. But I'll be back for the Liverpool game shortly. So here we are back for the Liverpool game. And they did actually lose their game. I think they lost or drew their last game in the league because they slipped down to 5th from 4th. So it's now a 3rd versus 5th battle rather than a 3rd versus 4th. I don't know who stepped up. I think it's possibly Chelsea. No, it was Watford, I think. Yeah, Watford are 4th. So they're having a really good season, mirroring a little bit what they did in real life at the start of this season. Good winner this weekend. I just saw Pereira's goal against Huddersfield. Shocking defending, but still had to do it, and great. We have had a little bit of admin during the 2 games. Iwobi got African Player of the Year and in the Team of the Year. Aubameyang got in the Team of the Year. Iwobi got Young African Player of the Year as well. He got a couple of African Player of the Year awards. He was top African Player this so far. Unfortunately, his injury has probably derailed his season now, but hopefully he'll be back for the end of it. And we did also receive a bid from Bayern Munich for Shkodran Mustafi. He's worth 22. They offered 27, but only 14 up front. So I negotiated it, got rid of all the clauses, and just put him for a straight 40. And they went, yeah, that'll do. So I have accepted it. So I'm just waiting to see if that goes through and if he does want to join. We have obviously got Socrates to step in if we need to, because Shelney's pretty much back from injury now. Should be back very soon. So we've got, I think he should be back. Yeah, that both boosts up. We've got Mavropanos coming through as well. Want to see a few more young players going through. So I think with 40 million, if we can maybe invest some of that back in January, I think it's a worthwhile deal. We've got cover in defence, and we can maybe bring another centre back in, or bring one up from the youth team. But we will, yeah, so you see I've done the kits. So we're playing our red, they're playing in their blue. Because Shelney is unregistered, but we can obviously register him now. So here's the lineups. Again, very similar for us. Nothing's changed from the last game, I don't think. Apart from Rafinha on the bench has been replaced by that guy. They've got Firmino up front, Salah, Mane behind them, Keita, Milner, Henderson, And they've got Moreno at left back. Where's Robertson? He's on the bench. Van Dijk, Lovren, Klein and Alisson. They've got Minion on the bench. Wijnaldum, Robertson, Lallana, Sturridge, Matip and Alexander-Arnold. Not a bad bench, I must say. We'll let the assistant do that. He seemed to be okay. So a good result needed here at home again against a team that are chasing us. The pressure's been taken off a little bit by their poor result in the last game, whereas obviously we got I suppose, decent draw against Man United. And it's us again. It's been all Arsenal so far. Terrible throw-in goes to them again. El Neni, Pereira. Oh, great ball to Kolasinac. He's bursting down the wing. No one in there, unfortunately. And it's a counter-attack for Liverpool, which they do in pace. They've got the free going forward and more, but Kolasinac gets back and makes a great tackle. Great interception there. Before he's tackled at right back himself and left that big open space for Salah now, but Pereira drops back and covers very nicely. Ozil into holding. Ramsey back to holding. Finds Pereira, who's shooting forward a bit more now. Ozil looks for Mkhitaryan. Drills it across and Aubameyang is there. The two combine again. Mkhitaryan with the assist. Aubameyang with the goal. 1-0 to the Arsenal. And you can't say it's not been coming and not been deserved. As you can see here, Pereira drifts in. Finds Ozil. Doesn't get the credit in this, but it's a great ball out to Mkhitaryan. First time cross and Aubameyang's there with acres of space and taps it into the corner past Alisson. And as we get into half time here, I did just notice that Everton have taken a 2-0 lead against Chelsea, so that's another the leading pack behind us losing. And I've got to be a little bit aware, because obviously that Liverpool game we were 3-0 up at Anfield and we ended up having to win 5-4 I think to win the game. So yeah, it's not taking anything for granted just yet. Aubameyang is booked, so we might have to look at maybe dropping him out for Lacazette. And they do have a throw in here. No, Firmino's off for an injury, so it's thrown back to us. We must have put it out. That's another little touch it looks like they've added this year, SI. So hats off to SI for all the little neat little touches that maybe go unnoticed. And as Mkhitaryan runs in, and it's a wild shot, and he needs to be doing better than that, really. They've gone more attacking here. Oh, a long, dodgy back pass. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. Kolasinac into Ozil, drift into the left. Just needs to find a nice safe pass. He finds Pereira, who's darting in. Drops it to Ramsey. We know what he can do from distance, but he doesn't. He does the second time, and it's shot just wide. We need a second goal here. Finds Aubameyang. Pereira can't quite get there. We need to win the header there. If we don't, Bellerin, he's chasing Mane here. Two pacey people on Mane still, and Salah. Not going to miss that. Oh, I think that's harsh. I don't think they deserve to be level in this game. But we haven't taken our chances. Mane just skips past two players, finds Salah open in the box, and it's a leveller. Leno with a goal kick out to Holding. Finds Lichtsteiner and Maitland-Niles. Ramsey, some good little football here. Maitland-Niles drifting through, and the pass to Lacazette is a bit short. Mkhitaryan can't quite get there either. And it's Liverpool again. Two subs, so Sturridge and Lallana combining, and he's going to square it, and they're going to score 2-1. They don't deserve to be level in this game, let alone winning it. And we're down to 5th. As soon as we didn't score that second goal, I just knew this was coming. I just knew it was coming. That will be that. There we go. An absolutely disgusting 2-1 loss. There's no way we deserve to lose that game. Absolutely no way. It's unlucky, but we should have taken our chances when we had them earlier on. Ozil's out for 3 to 6 weeks. Fantastic. We might have to change our approach because we're running out of players in certain positions. I've got another sort of formation I've been working with on my offline save at work with Ajax. He's out for 2 to 3 weeks. So it might be something I have to look at. So we've got the Stoke game next. We'll rest everyone up for that. When do we come back for the next episode? I mean, it's got to be the North London derby, isn't it? So we'll come back to the North London derby, and we'll come back for the second leg of Bournemouth, which may well be relevant still. We've got the 2 cup games actually, so we can do a bit of resting here. Fulham are in the bottom 3, so we've got a little bit of opportunities to rest some players here. So we'll take that where we can, where we need to, and try and stop some injuries reoccurring. We'll come back for the Tottenham and Bournemouth 2 home games again. Why not? So if you enjoyed this episode, please do drop a like. If you are new to the channel, please drop a sub. last count I was up to 71, I think, so it gets nice growth, some nice traction from FM19, possibly because it's Arsenal, I'm not too sure, but keep it coming. I'm enjoying it. I hope you're enjoying the content as well. Again, drop any comments. I do respond. I've been responding where I can. Well, not where I can. I've been responding to all of them. I've had a few new commenters recently, so I've been replying to those, having a bit of a chat, a bit of a conversation. You can do the same on Twitter. I'm always on my Twitter as well during the week. So yeah, all good. So until next time for another North London derby and a Bournemouth game, I will see you later. Take care.